Hi there. Welcome to eSkill Point. This is Sailesh Bhatia. We are going to talk about AP once again, but this time I am going to tell you how to read a word problem. The difference between the other sequence which has been given to you is shown in my previous video. This video will teach you how to understand and how to break down a word problem. Let's get on with it. A couple of problems will be solved here, and these are the probable types, and most of the time these are the problems which you would come across in your exam. So you can be rest assured that once you do these two problems, you would be able to handle the word problem very easily. All right, so the first problem that we have to solve is in an AP. Now please understand, the problem is telling you that this is an AP. The three terms are, if you sum them up, the total is 27, and the product, which means if you multiply the three terms, it's 504. We need to assume few things. Now we cannot use x, y, and z because it becomes very complex, and to make things easy, we know that a is the first term, d is the difference. So what is the best way? The best way is a minus d is one term, a is the other term, and a plus d is the third term. We have to assume this so as to make our calculations much easier. Now let's break this word problem. Read the problem. And what does the problem say? The sequence is an AP. So it is already arithmetic progression. So you don't really have to do T2 minus T1 is equal to T3 minus T2 and so on. We don't want to do that right now because we already know that this problem is an AP. Let's solve this sum. We have, for the purpose of, ease, I have just created a table to show you that the first, second, and the third term is a minus d, a, and a plus d, like I discussed earlier. And let's solve it. Okay, let's look at this problem a little bit more closely. We have the information that the sum of these terms is 27, which means a minus d plus a plus d is 27, which is mentioned here. We solve it, we open the brackets, and we get the result as a, which is the first term in this case, is 9. Again, we have some information which says that the product of these numbers is 504. We are using a very simple logical formula, and the terms, substituting the terms, where we a minus d into a plus d is 504. And now when you open these brackets up, what you get is a square minus d square. You can calculate the same. It is very easy, and which is 504 a square minus d square. And I'm substituting a with 9 in this case, and 9 square minus d square multiplied by 9 is 504. Again, as you calculate, we come to the figure is d square is 25. So this is important. How here I want you to pay attention here. Now what happens is most of the students would definitely go ahead and say d is equal to 5 because d root 25. Now pay attention, my dear friends. Root 25, okay, square root 25 is not always 5. It is actually plus or minus 5. Now this is where you get your marks. So here, when we are trying to get the terms, we need to solve this as in two cases. In case d is plus 5, what is the situation? And in case d is minus 5, what is the situation? Let's look at the first case where d is 5. A we already know is 9, and we substitute the same. Okay, 9 minus 5 and 9 and 9 plus 5. So we have the first set of terms, which is 4, 9, and 14. Again, the same terms would come in because the sequence is the same, except that in this case the difference is minus 5. So basically it is in the reverse order. So here we are still getting 14, 9, and 4. So you need to mention both these cases, and this was case 1, and I'm sorry, this is case 2. And this is how you would understand how to solve a word problem. And let's get on with the other problems that we have at hand. This is an interesting one. I want you to understand. This is very tricky, but at the same time very easy. So they have given you a date, which is the 1st January 2016. Sanika decides to save 10 rupees and 11 on the second day and 12 on the third day. Now pay attention. We don't know if this sequence that we are now making is an arithmetic progression. To do that, we would definitely have to prove if this word problem is in AP. So what we do is, you know, we would first understand that if A is 10, the first term, and the next day is A plus 1, which is 11, and the second day, which is 12. So which means that it is 10 and it's 11 and 12. And we come to the conclusion that yes, this is an AP. Okay, so as per the T2 minus T1 and T3 minus T2, we also know that D is one common factor. Okay, the difference between the all the three terms given. So it is an AP. But the trick lies in understanding. They have mentioned the year 2016. So now the problem says that on the 31st December 2016, now we know that every year has 365 days, but what happens when the year 2016, which is actually a leap year? Now what happens when it's a leap year? You actually add a day, which means we have 366 days. So our calculation will be based on 366 days. So this is where I tell you friends that you need to understand the word problem and you need to actually use a little bit of common sense, which will help you to solve your problem better. We use the formula Sn. We already know that there are two formulas used, and this is the to get the total. Sn n upon 2 brackets open 2a plus n minus 1, which is in brackets, and d, as you can see, what we are doing is we are actually using a total. 366 is the number of days upon 2, which is as per the formula. Okay, 2 into 10. Now this is the formula. 10 is the first term, and 366 minus 1, which is n minus 1. All right, and d is 1. When you open this and calculate, you get a figure of 70,455. So Sanika actually saves 70,455 rupees by the 31st of December 2016. So I'm sure friends that you would have found this very easy only because you were able to do two things. First is use the formula. Second is make sure that the n mentioned here is as per the date, which is 2016, which is a leap year, which is 366. And rest all is easy peasy. Example number 2. Now either of those two problems you would definitely see in the exam. This is an interesting one. It says that in an auditorium there are 27 rows of seats, and there are 20 seats in the first row, 22 in the second row, and 24th in the third row. Now without spending too much time, 20, 22, 24, yes, this is an AP because the difference is 2, and whether you minus T2 minus T1 and T3 minus T2, which is equal. So the D is 2, the number of seats on the 15th row, and how many total seats. So we will be using both the formulas in our next slide. The first formula we want to use is Tn equal to A bracket, inside the brackets, A plus n minus 1 D, which is a standard formula. And here we're trying to find out how many seats are there in row number 15. So the formula, as per the formula, 20 is the first term. 15 minus 1 as per the formula, multiplied by 2, which is the difference. The answer is 48. So in the 15th row, there are 48 seats. And for all the seats, we would use the formula, the same formula we used in the earlier slides, n upon 2 bracket open 2a plus bracket open n minus 1 bracket close d. We substituting the total number of rows which are there, 27. Now 27 upon 2 bracket open 2 into 20, and you can see the calculation. You would get a figure of 1,242 seats in the entire auditorium. So my dear friends, we have learned two things. First is to understand the word problem. We need to break it up. We need to actually see if the problem is an AP or not. Many a times the sum or the problem would say yes, it's an AP. So you really don't have to worry about that. and then you go on with these two formulas. Mind you, friends, these two formulas are very important for you to do the entire chapter of arithmetic progression. Hope you liked it and hope that you would be able to score good marks. At eSkill Point, we try to make things very easy for you and very, very simple for you to learn. Thank you, everybody. And don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to share. Good luck and keep practicing. Bye bye.